A couple people, I think, in Seattle, one down in Florida.
Mm. Where are you?
We're out in Denver.
Nice.
So we recorded in my one-bedroom apartment.
Nice. I am potentially out that way at the end of June. We're going out to Scott Johnson's Nerdtacular convention in Utah, but flying into Denver is one of the options.
Oh, nice.
So, are you a Broncos fan?
Yeah, I don't watch a ton of football, but yeah, I would say the Broncos
You're
are
there,
my
so you
favorite team.
are, yeah.
Yeah, you kind of get wrapped up in it.
Right. I was never a big I'm a Patriots guy, but I was I mean Elway and then Manning, just a string of great quarterbacks.
Yeah, the Broncos definitely lucked out with Manning at the end there.
Yeah.
So he's made of glass, still wins a championship.
Right. I think even Glass is a little more sturdy than he is.
Yeah.
All right,
It's like just kind of waiting for the moment it takes one bad hit to the neck and he's done.
Yeah.
Since it takes him at the time it took him 2-3 hours just to get his shit on, and 2 or 3 people helping him.
Yeah.
Who freaking knows?
He needed himself like an Iron Man machine that just suited him up.
Yeah, an exoskeleton just to live.
Right. Yeah, he was I don't know. He was great. He was great in the day, and then he became very very not great.
Yeah, ever since it was I think it was Super Bowl 48 where they got stomped by the Seahawks. Ever since that, he just kind of wasn't the same.
Right. All right. Got the show notes up from the email. Soundboard's good to go. Do you have any questions before we get started?
No, I think I'm just ready to go.
All right. Have you listened to any of the episodes?
I actually listened to your last one with
Nine Ball?
I think it was 9 Ball.
Yeah. Okay. That was a little more slapdashy than usual just because he's a friend and he's been on before.
Yeah.
That
That was obviously Blizzard chat.
Yeah, that was the.
Oh yeah,
Dumbest
I was like, I dig this. I'm definitely a Blizzard guy.
Nice. Very cool. Yeah, I have the I don't know with the blue how much, but right where I'm pointing now, that's a framed poster from BlizzCon 2014.
Okay,
And,
I can see an image. I don't know what the image is.
Yeah, I mean, I can embrace my hue lights here. There you go.
Oh yeah.
Add some. There we go. Now you can see it.
Right, that's better.
But-
Mike.
It's whatever. But yeah, so
I still can't tell what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the main image from BlizzCon 2014, and then yeah, no, I'm a big Blizzard guy. I got the Frostmourne tattooed down my back.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I am Blizzard blood through and through.
Yeah, that Blizzard is always my roots. I played WoW for 6-7 years.
Nice. I played for the majority. I just recently canceled. Actually, I still like it. Legion has some things to offer. It's just I don't have the time to commit to it.
Yeah, that's kind of my problem, and all the people I played with kind of stopped too. So it's
Yeah.
going in solo, I guess.
These days, I'm very big into the get in, get out games. Your Overwatch and your Heroes and Hearthstone. It's like you can play for as long as you want, but you're not committed to more than 15 or 20 minutes at a time.
Oh yeah,
So,
exactly.
which is nice.
I love Overwatch.
Yeah, so standard format. I mean, it'll be similar. It's a very relaxed, casual show. We'll talk about the show you do, talk about you a little bit, and then whatever kind of just like that, whatever conversation we naturally kind of migrate towards is kind of where it goes.
Yeah, that's what I expected.
Cool. I don't know if you got a chance to take a peek at these, Brandon.
No, but I'm looking at the Facebook page.
Okay. Yeah. It's just gaming, comic books, TV shows, movies, game development, esports, and football.
Like I said,
So,
I'm looking
yeah.
at the Facebook page.
Cool. All right.
Don't fuck with me.
Oh yeah, you can swear.
Yep, you can swear.
Good to know. I'm known to just drop F-bombs like crazy sometimes when I get on a rant.
Well, what the fuck would you do that for?
I don't fucking know.
All right,
fuck?
cool. We will pull up the soundboard. Hugo, you ready to go? Draw a quick thumbs up or something. All right, there you go. All right.
Cocks up, Hugo. Cocks up. Okay.
There you
man.
go.
That actually looks like a cock. So
It
there you
does?
go. What the?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, no, we're getting there.
There's the makings of it.
Oh, the pubes are there. The balls are getting bigger. Dude, you got 3 balls.
Are you ready to go? Give us the cocks up. I hope that does not become a new thing.
That's it. It's too late. Cocks up?
Cool. All right. Let me hit my marker here. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Mind of a Geek is a production of Inked Geek Studios. Get this and other great shows at inkedgeekstudios.com. To help support Mind of a Geek and IG Studios, go to patreon.com/IG Studios. As little as $1 a month can help support this show and other great content. We thank you.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Mind of a Geek. It is Season 3, Episode 9. I am joined by Brandon. Brandon, how are you?
Hello. I'm fine.
Hello.
Hello. We haven't done that in a long time.
No, I think we stopped doing it once we had Daryl on.
We're bringing it back. Hello.
We're reclaiming it.
Hello.
It's ours again. Hello, old chap.
Oh,
Show
too
you
far.
Yoda?
You've taken it too far.
I've gone too far. Tried, I did.
Oh my
Failed, I
god.
must have. Sorry, we just did Sonics and Sabers.
Oh.
Anyway, so Season 3, Episode 9. We are joined by Mr. Zach from the Z2 podcast. Zach, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Now you are Zach number 2.
Yes, we've determined I'm Zach number 2.
Apparently.
Established. That's Zach number 2.
Does that make him the shitty Zach?
I mean, I get everything running every week, so I don't know.
So he is.
I do all the hard work.
So he is the shit Zach. He's not the shitty
Yes.
one. He is the shit. He is the man behind the podcast.
He's number 2.
It was my brainchild, so
Who
Yeah,
does
there. See, if it's like Austin Powers, number 2 was.
who does number 2
the
work
guy-
for?
Yeah, exactly. He ran that shit from behind the scenes.
exactly.
So as we've said, one of the hosts of the Z2 podcast, 3 friends come together every week to discuss comic books, pop culture news, and things that have been going on in your geeky life. I like
wish
the
I
sound
had
of
3
it.
friends,
It
man.
actually, it sounds like one of the shows that birthed this network. So I'm really interested to how that works for you guys and whatnot. So why don't you tell us a little bit about it and how you got started?
So yeah, I guess I'll start with how we actually started the show. I always listened to podcasts like constantly. That's just something I always enjoyed. And me and my friend, the other Zach, me and him would always have just conversations about whatever, like comic books, video games, whatever was on our mind. And my whole idea was like, hey, I feel like this is pretty good content. We make some stupid jokes every now and again. We cover he always sends me links to news articles of like, oh, this is new stuff upcoming or in the world of comic books or whatnot. And I was like, why don't we just put freaking microphones in front of us and make a podcast out of it? He's like, okay. So that's where we got the whole Z2 from, because we're both named Zach. And then we added our third friend, Steven, who we all went to high school together, so we all knew each other. And we had him on the show like 3 or 4 times. We're like, this is a pretty good rhythm with the 3 of us, and we kind of like that triple dynamic better. So we were like, all right, let's just make you a regular, and then have a 4th person just come in every now and again, like a guest or I don't know, an artist, something, just someone not part of our regular trio to just talk about whatever either project they're working on, or just to, I don't know, shoot the shit with us about just whatever they're doing around the world.
Yeah. I really like
and
the
then
idea of 3 perspectives. I think that really works
Yeah.
well. When we do have a third person,
too.
it's always fun.
Yeah. No, the extra voice, it's great. I mean, even with 2, it's nice to have the back and forth dynamic,
Right.
and then when you add another on top of that.
But see, like he and I went to high school together, right? So we kind of know each other's tropes, and I know what the fuck Nate's gonna say, you know? So
Yeah,
it's,
and-
I know Nate's
Yeah,
body. What can I tell you?
Yeah, the other Zach, he definitely knows how to get under my skin.
Right.
Like, for a while, you know the stupid Star Wars prequel memes that's been going around for the last, like, couple months?
Yep.
He always likes to go to the tale of Darth Plagueis the Wise. He always tries to throw it in there whenever he can, and he knows it drives me insane.
That's funny.
We try to stop him. It's like, nope, you can't segue into it this time. Doesn't work.
That's great that you guys actually built a podcast off conversations like that. I have a friend that was in Florida, and we used to have these just long, drawn-out conversations covering everything that you had just mentioned. And I always said, oh, that would be a great show, man, if we could just do it. But he never wants to do it, so... Luckily, I reconnoitered with him, and he and I started this whole thing, so it's worked out really well. See how happy he is? Okay.
Sorry, I was doing the social media thing. No, I was just going to say, I just tagged you and your show in a tweet, so if you want to take a minute to retweet that so your listeners can hop in and say hello. I don't know, do you guys do your show live?
We don't. I've been kind of thinking about trying to do that. I mean, our listener base is still pretty small for the most part, but we've been seeing steady growth over the last few months, which is nice.
Cool. It's one of those things I was always told, because I mean, this studio started in June of 2014, so it's coming up on its third year. The original show, which is what I was talking about, was called Geek Access, and that was purely Skype. It was me and two guys that I played SWOTOR with way back in the day, and you know, it was called the Geek Access podcast, and it was a similar idea. It was you know, geek pop culture and what we did that week. I mean, very similar in concept. Unfortunately, scheduling and everything else like that. I mean, from when that show started, I went through a second child, and then I had separation and things like that, and then a third child, and then job changes, and it's like, yeah, we can't do this show anymore.
Yeah.
Me and him, like you mentioned, is great. We're local. We've grown up together. It's really easy to kind of put everything aside and sit down and do a show.
Right.
Which we did not display appropriately the last 6 weeks.
No, but know, life happens. What can I tell you?
Yeah, it does.
What I do like is what you have going on behind you in the round table there with the mics.
Yeah, I can move out of the way. Get a view of it.
So that's really great. But when you talk about doing things live, what we've run into is we have all these cameras everywhere, right? Now, the other shows we do, we would love to be able to look at each other, which two of us, you can do that more or less, So we had a setup momentarily where we would have been able to do roundtables. It's just a matter of positioning with the cameras to be able to do it live. So I don't know if you end up doing it live, that might be something you run into. But
you know what I envision with his setup there? A 360-degree camera in the middle of the table.
Yeah, if everybody wants to spend some money.
Yeah, I mean, we're actually going to be moving into a house together here pretty soon, and there's going to be a separate room dedicated to a recording area. So that round table will probably come with us, but we'll actually have a little more space to mess around with.
Nice. I have another question while I pull the curtain back a little bit. Is that Red Hood and Nightwing on the wall behind you?
It is. It's some fan art I got from New York Comic Con when I went last year.
Awesome. That's all. I didn't mean to interrupt. I just got excited.
Oh, no, you're good. Yeah, Red Hood's one of my favorite characters personally. It's actually what got me into comics.
Really?
So the other Zach, he was always into comics and stuff growing up. I wasn't so much. I was kind of just stuck with WoW. That was like my thing. Like I just played it nonstop. So didn't really get into much else aside from that. And when we were going to college together, he's like, "Hey, you want to come watch Batman Under the Red Hood with me?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not? I like Batman still." And once we were done watching, I was like, "Damn, that was a fucking good movie."
Yep.
Is there like more of this character? He's like, "Yeah, it's based on like a graphic novel arc." So I'm like, "All right, I need to go read this."
Yep.
And that kind of started me down the rabbit hole of reading comics every week.
So are you more of a DC guy then?
Yeah, me and him are both pretty hardcore DC fans.
Yeah. See, I'm more of a Marvel guy, but there are certain characters in the DC world that I enjoy. Red Hood being one of my favorites, Lobo. Constantine is my favorite. I love Constantine, but...
I like me some Constantine. I'm not a huge Lobo fan, personally.
No?
I think it was the whole, like, what Lobo represented from, like, the 90s, like, the Macho Man Randy Savage thing. I was just never really into that, so the character never appealed to me.
I don't know, there was something I appreciated about the whole over-the-top 90s Lobo, but, again, it's neither here nor there for me, because ultimately I'm more Marvel. So, you can always find a parallel character in Marvel that you can like better, you know?
Oh yeah, since they all just play off each other all the time.
Exactly.
I think the only thing that you wouldn't find the parallel for is Joker. Does Marvel have a parallel to Joker? Because they don't have any. I mean, you know.
I don't know.
Joker,
we actually had
Go ahead.
We had a topic about like how Marvel's villains don't really seem to, at least right now, don't seem to matter too much.
No, their villains never really stack up. I mean,
No.
you have your Magnetos and Apocalypse, but that's, you know, X-Men villains. Overall, the villains aren't. I don't think the villains really match up to the heroes.
Right. Because I'm in the same boat. I'm definitely more of a Marvel guy, but the Batman mythos is very much like. So the tattoos over here, I've got zombie Batman. And then, so you see the Batman.
Oh yeah, I see that.
And then the symbol, and then he's got blood dripping out of his mouth, and then down the forearm is zombie Joker. So
Okay.
yeah, this whole arm is going to end up being a zombie Gotham thing.
Oh nice.
But Joker
That's
is
pretty
by
legit.
far my favorite villain anywhere of all time. I like all the renditions of him, even Leto's. Like I thought Leto's Joker was fun and exciting. So
Yeah, I had mixed things about it. I mean, you really didn't get to see much of it to get a decent take of it.
No, that was the biggest problem he had. Was it could have been cool, right? But you didn't
Yeah.
get any character. You didn't get much.
Yeah,
Nothing to build
and
on.
we always make a joke about how just the freaking wheezing laugh. That's probably the worst part about his Joker is that just the pause and then he just wheezes
Yeah.
after he's done laughing.
Right.
yeah, but at least see the thing is, and as a gamer, you know, and anything, even music, like you're never going to have everybody be happy, obviously. But if
Oh,
you
no.
do something that, I mean, and you take, you know, his favorite band and my favorite band, so Metallica and then Avenged Sevenfold, they have been under scrutiny multiple times where an album sounds the same or an album sounds different or they change their
Yep.
style, they change their themes. You know, Slipknot went through that musically again. They changed up, they softened, they sold out, whatever. And then again, you know, go back to the movies and the comics with Leto's Joker. Go to gaming, look at Call of Duty.
Hell, even look at the new Mass Effect. Like,
Look at exactly, there you go. So if things stay the same every year or every other year or every album or every movie, whatever, depending on the consistency of release, people are always going to complain that you're just rehashing old content. You're giving us the same stuff. We're both WoW players.
Right.
Look what they did with Legion. It's like, ooh, Burning Crusade 2. Way to give us something original. But then when you completely change things up and change your flavor, everyone complains that you changed.
exactly.
So-
Yeah, it's like, so you want the same, but you also want it new.
They want to bitch.
I want the
What do you
same,
want
but
from
different.
us?
Right. They want the
See-
same but different.
That's where you talked about WoW. Like I started playing WoW last year? Maybe
Yeah, it
a
was
little over a year
right
ago.
before the launch of Legion, I think.
I was a huge WoW. Yeah, exactly. I was a huge WoW denier up until that point. But the added benefit is I don't have any of that judgment to make.
Right.
I can enjoy
Right.
all of it straight through.
You don't see any of the similarities from the past expansions.
Right.
No.
Which I don't think faulted Legion. I mean, we could get into a whole WoW talk, but there were so many
Yeah.
episodes of Mind of a Geek that were hijacked by Warcraft.
Yep. Oh man, some of those early
consumes
episodes.
everything.
Yeah.
It's dude, you have no idea. Some of those early episodes before I played, I'm just like, oh my fucking god.
Yeah. There
Where
was
is
some-
this again? This is a real place. They talk about it like, and I get it now, but before, like, oh, they talk about it like it's a real place. Where is this? Oh, it's over the hill and around the corner.
Yeah. It is. It's right there.
Yep.
I got to
Totally from
ask.
there.
I meant to ask before, and again, we won't get into it, but Horde or Alliance?
I was Alliance because that's what my buddy got me into, but I eventually swapped to Horde after
man.
a couple of years.
That happens to everybody, huh?
Yeah.
You always end up
It's
being
where all the
Horde.
good players go.
Oh my god.
Um,
Well, I'm Alliance.
Well, to be
but
fair,
I'm a bad player.
all right. So historically, the top raid guilds have always been Horde, with the exception of a few, and the top PvPers have always been Alliance, with the exception of the few. So, I mean, they have their strengths, and the Alliance now, with the whole thing with Varian dying and Anduin kind of coming into his own, like they've got a cool storyline going on. But
Yeah.
no, I am man. I don't remember what episode it was. There was some episode. I don't remember if it was an episode of Sonics where we were talking about WoW or if it was an episode of Mind of a Geek. But man, the squee that I made when I found out that Sylvanas was going to be war chief, I was so excited. But yeah, anyway, again, we don't need to go back. But yeah, so back to, comics and Jokers and stuff. Yeah, so if he did the same thing, people would have bitched. He went different. Being somebody heavily tattooed, hell, the studio is called Inked Geek Studios. I loved the tattooed look. The canon argument you could make in regards to them being Joker themed tattoos. I mean, again,
there's kind of like I've heard some explanations like the damaged one is after Joker killed Jason Todd allegedly. They still haven't confirmed that and if that's actually what happened.
Well, wasn't
but
that
Batman
supposed to be? That was the whole thing with Batman v Superman, where they showed Robin's suit. And
everyone's like, that has to be Jason Todd. And I think they did say it was Jason Todd's costume.
I think it was confirmed that was Jason Todd.
Okay.
Yeah, but the whole damage tattoo was apparently Batman went to Arkham Asylum after that and beat his face in to where he broke his jaw. So Joker put the tattoo on his head of like, oh, look, you damaged me. Kind of like as a call out of like, this is what I did to you and you did it to me.
See, I read this really awesome fan theory. Now, we talked about, it was recent, but I don't remember where, but we had talked about Leto's Joker. I think it was last week's Sonics, but we talked about Leto's Joker and I was talking about how much I enjoyed it. But because of the kickback, I don't think we're going to see it again, unfortunately. I hope we do. I would love to see it.
Yeah, I don't know. It might not be Leto, though.
No, but we'll see. But there was a fan theory that I had read that he was Jason Todd.
Yeah, I saw that one as well.
That's why he had the damaged, because Batman screwed him up beyond belief.
Right.
So,
which, as a Jason Todd fan, that just seems kind of odd to me.
Right.
Like, I mean, there were a couple of weird storylines after he was revived after, I think it was like Final Crisis or Infinite Crisis? It's some Crisis event where Superman punched the freaking universe.
Right.
That's a whole other thing, but we won't get into that. To where he was going around, he like dressed up as Nightwing at one point, went around killing people. He was always this weird villain that they used him for. So, I mean, I guess I don't know. It just doesn't seem to fit with what they're doing now with him.
Did you play the Arkham Knight game?
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
I knew the whole thing was Jason once they showed the scene where Joker kills him. I'm like, oh, okay, we're doing a Red Hood story. Okay. I'm around this.
Yeah, no, that was really cool. And other than all the technical difficulties that came with that game, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
That's why I play it on console. No problems.
Ashley, your chat test is working, so tell Hugo what to draw and make him happy. You know what I want to see is Damian Wayne come to screen. I want that.
I would love to see that too. Well, I mean, have you heard the whole thing of how they're going to have a Bat Family line of movies in 2019?
Does that correlate to the Batgirl movie coming out? Is that them franchising the whole thing?
Yeah, I think it's going to be Batgirl. I don't know if they've announced any of the other titles, but they said they're going to have, I think, 4 to 5 Batman movies in 2019.
Now, are we
keeping...
then
the Batman Solo one at the end.
Are we keeping Affleck as Batman? Is that what is...
Supposedly.
Yeah.
Supposedly, but I doubt it because he's already dropped out of writing The Dark Knight. Right. Whatever the hell he's calling it.
And it sucks because, I mean, he was one of the best things about that Abomination.
Yeah,
I love you have to wonder, Batfleck. Is it like better looking by comparison? Is he better because he's standing next to an ugly fat movie?
No, I thought he was
the
best
good.
Part of the movie.
Yeah,
I thought he was a pretty good Bruce Wayne and Batman.
I agree. I was playing devil's advocate. I liked him in that movie.
Right.
I also like Gal Gadot. Like, I'm down with that. I want to see that shit, man.
See, and I know I almost stand alone on this platform, but I really liked Jesse Eisenberg as Luthor.
I disagree.
I know. But I thought he was great. I thought he was schizophrenic. I thought he was crazy. I don't know how I feel about him bald. Like, I get that it's the Luthor thing.
But he's Jesse Eisenberg in every movie.
He was the same character in Social Network. Yeah. But, my favorite Lex Luthor will forever be Michael Rosenbaum from Smallville. He was one of the best things about that show.
Yeah, but at the same time, he got a lot more screen time to, get to know that character, like, and build the relationship with Clark in that show.
Right.
But he also
It's
had
like, oh,
that
he's his friend.
He also had that screen time to screw it up, and he did.
True.
So
That's true.
But Jesse Eisenberg in that movie was so much closer to Jim Carrey's Edward Nygma than he was.
Yeah, he could play a Riddler really well.
Yeah,
I see that.
That's where he should have gone.
I like that connection. That's good.
Mm-hmm. But they had to set up Darkseid and that whole storyline.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. I think they tried to do too much.
See, Nightmare Batman would be cool. All of that would be cool. And I like to see... Oh, man. What is it? The one where Batman's father is Batman.
Flashpoint.
Yes. I'd like to see that all happen. I know it kind of happens in Flash, obviously, but I want to see that shit.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. They're actually redoing... Well, not really redoing, but they're bringing that storyline back in the comics right now. I don't know if you're up to date with DC stuff.
No, not DC, just Marvel. But even then, Marvel's gotten a lot of flack lately too.
Oh,
their
yeah.
comic
I don't know
is
what
fucked
Marvel's doing right now.
I just want to say Philly in the chat agrees. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, fuck you, Philly. Get out of here.
Hey.
The small minority of Jesse Eisenberg Luther fans are coming out of the woodwork.
Right.
Now you've said it.
I am the voice for the voiceless.
I saw a movie with him. That movie where he's a spy and he's like a sleeper agent. That was pretty good.
Oh, American Ultra.
American Ultra.
Now, I haven't seen that.
It. That was pretty good.
But you know what he's awesome in? I mean, the movies are decent. They're not great, but the Now You See Me series, he's really good in that.
I've only seen the first one, but I like that.
I haven't seen either of them.
I love magic into magicians.
The only thing that I need that guy around for is Zombieland 2. Other than that,
yeah.
And when are we getting that?
We're getting it, right?
Supposedly we're getting it.
And Woody Harrelson's supposed to be coming back.
I heard it was going to be a TV show for a while. I don't know if that's still a thing.
It was a TV show, or at least it was a planned TV show. It might have aired. You can look really quick if you want on the iPad, but they didn't have any of the original cast. So it was one of two situations. It either aired and bombed and they canceled it, or it never got to the point that it was getting aired. But
I don't know. I felt like I heard a rumor that like they aired one episode at the weirdest time slot just so they could keep the rights to it, or I'm thinking of something completely different.
Philly says Amazon show that was canned quickly.
What was it? I was talking to people that aren't in the chat room but are watching.
It was the Zombieland TV show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but no, yeah, that was the thought or at least what I'd heard was that a second one was in the make and they had the entire original cast come back, which would be great. Because that was one of those sleeper hits of that year. Like, it just came out of nowhere and was great.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know what to expect from this, but this looks fun. I'll go watch it.
Right, exactly. I think I happened to see it on, it was something. It just happened to be on one day. Maybe it was on Netflix or something. And I was like, yeah, sure, Woody Harrelson's great. So he's the main in one of my favorite movies, which is Kingpin. So I'll watch something with him in it for sure.
Kingpin is one of your main movies?
I love Kingpin, man. Kingpin's such a great fucking movie. You gotta remember, I used to bowl all the time growing up.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot.
So
bowling, I like bowling, but at the same time, it's about as entertaining as watching flies fuck. I just it's just a reason to drink. I suck at it. That's probably the problem.
Love when the Carlin comes out.
Yeah. You caught that, huh?
Of course I did.
So
I seen that happen one time.
What's that?
Nothing.
Hugo chimed in.
Fuck off, Hugo. What'd you say? Say it. I didn't hear you.
I said I seen that happen one time.
Flies. He's seen flies fuck.
Oh,
is what
wow.
it was a really bad joke.
Yeah. Was it erotic or?
Somebody like a magnifying glass for that?
Somebody killed him. It was flies. We were at one point. And
Hugo, your mic's going nuts.
Oh, boys.
Hi.
So anyway, while Hugo
we need to get him. I need to send him one of the ATRs we have.
Yeah, we should. Meanwhile, Hugo's been drawing. Let's take a quick aside here. I see a Horde logo. I see what looks like the Invisible Man. I think it's supposed to be Joker.
It's Joker.
Mr. Poopy Butthole. For the Horde is flashing.
Nice. I like
Zach,
it.
number 2. The Batman.
Affleck.
Thank you.
Yeah. There we go.
Good times. Good times.
Good stuff. Yeah. No.
Trying to figure out who the middle person's supposed to be. Oh, is that Jesse Eisenberg?
I think
No,
it's-
that's Mr. Poopy Butthole if you watch Rick and Morty.
I haven't gotten that far in Rick and Morty, actually.
No, you will. You will.
I'm getting there.
Rick and Morty
I'm
is
sure-
an institution for me, man. I had never seen that show until January, and then my girlfriend's sister's husband forced it down my throat, and I...
You don't say.
Yeah, well, literally.
Is there any other way to watch that show?
No, definitely not. And it's... Oh, man.
I
My whole life is based around that show now.
I stumble
fucking
upon
love
so
that
many
show.
great things. I stumbled upon Aqua Teen Hunger Force that way. I just happened to be at a buddy's house and he had it on. And I was like, this is the greatest thing ever made. And now
I feel that way about Always Sunny.
the vampire bus, the bus of the undead. Dracula's not in the bus. He is the bus.
Am I back? No.
No, you are.
I'm back. Dude, Always Sunny. I love Always Sunny, too. That's my fucking jam.
Yeah,
I
I don't know what it is.
They have this there's this giant like painting of the Nightman Cometh, like an old like playbill style thing. I want that so bad.
Well, you know
gotta
they,
pay the toll
they
if you
actually
want this
did the
boy's
live
hole.
show, right?
What?
I said you got to pay the toll if you want this boy's
Oh,
hole. What'd you say? What'd
Sounds
you
like you're
say,
saying
Zach?
boys hole.
That's what he said. He said, you got to pay the
boy.
toll if you want this boy's hole. Is that what you said? Yeah, that's
It's
what he said.
boy's soul. You're slurring it.
The troll toll.
Before we get...
You have no idea what we're
I
talking about.
have no clue. Before we get too far off it,
the
back to
greatest
DC
things
for
ever.
one moment, I wanted to ask, do you watch Gotham?
I watched like the first few episodes and I couldn't get into it.
Okay, now hold on. The first few episodes of the first season?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I've heard is not good.
No.
You have to skip the first season. Go
Well,
right
no,
to
well,
the
no,
second.
don't skip it.
Yeah, no, skip it.
No,
Fish
because-
Mooney sucks ass.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, she does. She only has the part because she's Will Smith's wife. But it establishes Cobblepot. It establishes Ben McKenzie as Gordon, who is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I
it's-
liked parts of it.
It's kind of like Arrow. The first season sucks, but you gotta kind of get through it.
Whoa, wait a second. The first season has Deathstroke.
First season was decent.
Yeah, but wasn't the first
Second season
the
was
first
the
season was
best.
like Dawson's Creek Arrow.
The first season with Arrow was dark, and he hadn't learned that you probably shouldn't kill everybody yet. It's very Batman, like dark.
Yeah, I mean,
You know, and
the
Deathstroke.
joke is he was Bat Arrow.
Yeah, Deathstroke.
Maybe, I don't know.
Deathstroke.
It was always like I've always seen it dubbed as the CW Arrow.
Slade,
And then they
no.
broke away from that
No,
in
man.
season 2.
No, it's more.
No,
like
season
that
2
now.
was the best. They went ham in
Well, that's
season
what I'm saying.
2.
They broke
Yeah.
away from it, and like they became bad. Anyway, whatever.
All
Yeah,
I care
Gotham.
about is Deathstroke.
Check it.
And now all I care about is fucking Legends of Tomorrow, because it's essentially American Doctor Who with half the Doctor Who cast in it. It's a goofy fucking show, but I like it.
Cool. But yeah, give Gotham a chance. It's on Hulu. I don't know how far back you can go on Hulu. It might just be the most recent 5. But the kid that plays Jerome, who you see for the first time.
Yeah.
His Joker is amazing.
Yeah, I saw the promo for the kind of take on Death of the Family
Yes.
from
yeah.
Scott Snyder's run, which I'm like, that looks terrifying.
Yeah, no, he's good, and he has the whole cut off face thing going on. Yeah, no, he's quite impressive. But no, get through the first season. It's tough. I know it's tough. The thing
I
that
never remember where I stopped watching.
the thing that plagued Gotham, and this is what a lot of the reviewers said as well, is when it first started, it didn't know what it wanted to be. Is it a comic book show, or is it like a police procedural? Like,
Is
what
it a
are they-
Bruce Wayne origin?
Right, what are they trying to do? But no, it's good. And the guy that plays Alfred, like, it ends up being that all of... Oh, nice! Master Shake. Rock on, dude. The kid that plays Bruce, while annoying for the first half of the first season, he does end up coming to his own and becomes pretty badass. Selena Kyle is great. And you end up seeing... And they're gonna have this big thing eventually, but what ends up happening is you see Freeze, you see Firebat, you see like all these characters, and Hugo Strange is a huge part of season 2. You know, and
Okay.
the Arkham and everything else like that. Yeah, they
I know a little strange.
they pay homage to a lot of the characters, and it's great, and most of them do them really well. Victor Fries was spot on, and the suit was amazing. So no, give it a chance, man. I thoroughly enjoy it. As somebody who loves Batman, I love it. You can't. I guess that's the beauty.
You kind of have to separate it.
Yeah, and the rumor was, and it hasn't really been squashed yet, is that we might be getting Detective Gordon as Batman. And as he gets into the character, that's based like he is the unsuited Batman. That's the role he fills.
As opposed to what happened in the comics where he was like mechanized Batman.
Right. Yeah, no, he is
Wait, you didn't like the buddy suit?
No, man. No, I was not into that shit.
But he got to fight in a freaking Bat Jaeger.
Yeah, I don't care.
Nice. Annalise, the Sheikh Zula, the Mike Rula.
Yeah, Annalise is basically like mimicking my text with all these other people. Because I literally said
the old schooler,
the Troll Toll thing, and the Sheikh Zula thing. Yeah. Because people, I don't know. I guess the Twitch chat's not working for everyone, but
oh, it's not.
I don't know.
I don't know. Twitch is if
10 out of 10.
Yeah, it's America. I like that's cool. I like that. I've never seen that stamp before. But yeah, so you guys can go back to Always Sunny. I just wanted to bring up oh
no, the time has passed.
My apologies. So let's go back and let's talk about your show a little bit more. So like you said, you guys kind of discuss whatever. I mean, it's probably very similar to this in some ways.
I'm sure it's not as free flowing. We're kind of all over the place.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, we always start off with like the news we find throughout the week. That's kind of the core. We always start with like, all right, what the hell is going on in the world of comic books? Because there's a lot to keep track of.
Yeah. And
just pop culture and stuff in general. So we always start with that, and then we usually get derailed. Like 9 times out of 10, something is said, and then we always end up wondering, like, all right, how the hell did we get to here from, I don't know, from talking about Gotham is going to have this character in it? Like, and then from there, we usually do, we started doing this thing where we each come with just some random topic, and we'll just go around. We used to have just like one single topic to just discuss, but now we're doing like a triple topic thing. But yeah, and then something we like to do is we try to bring in people that, I don't know, they're part of the industry. So we're good friends with the comic shop owner we go to. So we've always brought him on, like, all right, so especially with like all the shit that Marvel's doing right now, like how does that affect you as a store owner? Because they have to manage like, all right, how much stuff do I order? Like, is it going to sell? Like all that kind of like the logistics of it. And it's actually pretty fascinating from his point of view.
That is a good goddamn idea. I know all the people that work at the comic shop I go to, and man, I never thought of that. That's a great idea.
Yeah, and I mean he's a big comic person as well. I remember the first time we had him on our show, because we've had him on multiple times. He always invites us out to his shop to do live shows. Live as in live recording, not necessarily live on Twitch or anything.
Right.
But we've always brought him on, and the first question I asked him was, why do you like Aquaman so much? Because he's the first person I met who's the biggest Aquaman fan ever.
Yeah. What was his answer?
It was kind of interesting. The whole point was, he's the kind of a joke from like Super Friends and a lot of his early run, but he's essentially a stronger, or at least as strong as Superman. Right. Can freaking fly underwater essentially at like Mach 3 or something, so like ridiculously fast.
He can swim really fast.
Yeah, and he can freaking. There's an image from Jeff Johns' Justice League where he, like, they're first meeting him. It's like, what do you even do, Aquaman? And he summons sharks to eat all these parademons, and it's like, that solidifies like why Aquaman is badass.
Nice.
So I'm like, I can get behind that.
If he summons sharks to eat parademons, which is cool, do the parademons need to be in the water?
No, these sharks jumped in the freaking air to get him.
Flying fish.
Not flying fish. Jump. Have you ever seen a great white jump? Those things can fly.
But I mean, like, what if there's a parademon offshore?
Well, in this, okay, you got me there. In the instance of the panel,
I don't even know
the parademons are just floating there.
I don't even know why I'm arguing the point. I like Aquaman, so it's.
How do you feel about Momoa playing Aquaman?
I still haven't seen enough of him, but I like kind of like how at least menacing he looks. It's like he looks the part.
Do you find yourself in the boat of many other people where Momoa can't act, so as long as he shuts up, it won't be bad? Like if we kind of get like a Khal Drogo Aquaman, he doesn't.
That's
really
kind of what I
much.
expect.
Yeah.
I imagine he's gonna be a man of few words.
Right.
More of action.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, the imagery is there. Like I don't need Dwayne Johnson being Aquaman.
That's essentially what we've got.
No, you're
like
wrong.
physically.
Yeah,
like,
but I don't need a verbose Aquaman.
Has there been anywhere in Aquaman's canon that he's ever been a jacked badass, or has he always been a scrawny dude?
There was Hook Hand Aquaman.
Yeah,
Okay.
I remember that.
From that's kind of what the feel I get from Momoa's Aquaman, at least.
Right.
Like he looks the part. He's freaking ripped. He looks like he will kick your ass.
Well, it's Momoa.
I'm just not sure what else is going to happen from it.
I'm going to pause you for 1 second. Annalise, this is for you. What's it? Oh, wait, no, hold on. Oh, come on.
Oh, you got the wrong
I got the
fucking
wrong one. Hold
Boom,
on. Here we
fucked
go.
up.
My name is Shake Sula, the mic ruler, the old schooler. You want a trick? I'll bring it to ya.
You gotta pot it down now.
We'll just have this as the bed music.
Just fade it out. Just fade it out. Wow, I'm in the 18 to 24 demographic again. Great.
Right.
How old are you?
Hey, I'm 23.
Damn, that must be nice.
I know.
I have a decade on you.
So do I.
Yeah.
I'm all the comic book people I talk to are like at least in like their late 30s and early 40s. So we all like a lot of the modern stuff, but they're all the old school things. So here and there, like there's a lot of things they don't like that the modern comics do.
Right.
They're like, this is dumb. Like, why don't they just do the stuff they did back in the 80s? Well, that wouldn't work anymore.
No. So what is your favorite thing happening in comics right now?
Oh man, DC's just been killing it right now for me. Like the whole Rebirth line is just, I can't. There's been like one book that I was like, that's not my favorite thing, but the whole thing with what they're doing with Watchmen, I think is really cool. Like Jeff Johns, like the fact that Flashpoint seems to be like that was the starting point for this whole thing, I think is one of the coolest things ever, because it's like almost a 10-year long con at this point.
Yep.
Just to get to this like single moment, and they're rehashing a lot of the Flashpoint moments now within Batman and Flash.
Well, they kind of
which I think is really
after
cool.
they've rebooted all of their books so many times. I mean, they needed a win, and I mean they're outselling Marvel now. Like Marvel's main titles in the last month, underselling
like Spider-Man, Star Wars.
Yeah, Spider-Man is their main title, right? And in month to month, it's not selling 50,000 copies. Meanwhile,
it's
DC
like you're doing something wrong here.
Are we talking
Right.
collectively, or are we talking also digitally?
collectively.
Okay,
I don't
so like physical
know
and
if
digital?
I think this is just physical. I don't know if they track the digital sales.
Touche.
Right.
But I mean, DC is outselling them. Like I wouldn't say far and away, because physical media is kind of on its way out. Here and there.
I don't know.
But
I would disagree with that with comic books.
I feel
I'll
like
tell you
there's
this,
at
such a
33,
core.
I've got so many boxes of comics. Like I can't buy comics anymore. Those long boxes.
Yeah, the long boxes.
Dude.
I think there's
can't.
still that audience that wants that though, because
Right.
it's the whole collecting aspect of it.
Right.
Like even
But
though
I
they
mean-
end up sitting in a box, it's still like, oh, hey, these are all things that I could eventually go back to if I want.
But I spent 20 years reading it once and then bagging it and boarding it and not touching it. And it got
True.
me nowhere. And like every Wednesday I'm going down there and spending $40. I can't do that anymore.
And I also
so
think
now it's a Kindle and digital for me.
We
So
are-
I can read it and I don't have to store hundreds of pounds of paper.
right, we're also in an era now where things are so widely produced and mass produced in such a way that you're not gonna get those comics that are worth that much. Like, and we're in a collector's mindset. You know what I mean? So you go back, like there's always the old joke of baseball cards, and you go back in the day, and kids were putting Babe Ruth cards in their spokes to make their bikes sound like motorcycles, like
Yep.
because nobody knew. Like people didn't have that obsessive collector mentality back then.
The Great
Right.
Bambino.
Yes.
The Sultan of SWAT?
Yeah. You're killing me, Smalls. But now we've adopted that. I mean, people collect everything from baseball cards to comic books, Beanie Babies. I mean, not so much anymore. Funko Pops.
Funkos.
We
The
collect
new Beanie Baby.
webcams.
Yeah, we do. I have plenty of Funkos, man, and I collect Lego minifigures. I have hundreds
I
of
was
those.
so pissed. I was at an FYE yesterday.
Yep.
And because they closed the one up here, the Finn Balor Funko is not out yet. It's an FYE exclusive. It's not out yet, though.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm not happy.
Sucks.
I wanted my Demon King Funko.
We'll find it.
Anyway, but yeah, no.
We're going south pretty soon. When's it come out?
It's probably out soon. Yeah, by the time we make the trip to Jersey for the concert, we'll probably be able to stop at one.
Pick it up.
But yeah, so we're in a collector mindset. People are collecting things, hopeful that it will be worth something. So you might get the comic that you want, and if you want it for yourself, then more power to you. And collect it, have that physical collection, and go forward with it. But for me, it's convenience, and it's like he said there. It's like
True.
it's like I have either my Pro or my Mini with me, and I can, and especially now that all the cellular companies are readopting the unlimited schemes, I don't even have to take up storage space. Like I can be on the road, be like, yeah, I want to read this, and download it, read it, delete it.
See,
Yeah.
I agree with the chat room right now. Like they're talking about the smell of comics and just the physical aspect of it. I agree with that. And I agreed with that for a long time, but my wallet just can't support that, and I don't have the space anymore. As I get older, I've hoarded so many things. I can't.
What if we take the digital, and Steve, and I get that there's something about physically holding it. I like he said, I don't disagree. But what if we take the topic that we had from Sonics, where we were talking about augmented screens? So imagine if we combine these two thoughts, where we have an augmented screen, and then we have that digitally. So I can have my glasses that project my augmented screen, and then I can have my pages right there in front of me.
You can have your own guided reading.
Right, exactly.
My cousin's been doing that. He has a 42 or whatever like this. And
Yeah.
He reads his digitals like that, panel to panel. That doesn't work for me. I don't like the guided reading. At least with the Kindle,
Yeah,
you have
I'm
the
not
right...
a fan of it either.
No. With the Kindle, you have the right size. So it's kind of like reading a comic.
Right,
Until you get a splash page where it's full. Then it's kind of fucked
You're
up.
just like, God damn it.
right.
It makes me long
It's
for
2
the
pages
old days.
wide.
Yeah, but no,
I don't know.
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
For me, the whole collecting aspect is one, going down to the shop I like going to, talking with the shop owner because we're good friends. It's like I like that experience, and then I mean, me and my friend, we trade comics every now and again. It's like, oh, hey, you're reading this, and I recommend you read this. It's like, oh, hey, you want to borrow this? Like, I don't know. There's something about that kind of. It's almost like I don't know if you guys ever did like Pokemon cards or Yu-Gi-Oh or whatever. It's kind of like that.
Magic.
It reminds me a lot of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're trading your cards with the friends, even though you can get all that stuff digital now too.
Yeah.
Like
even
there's just
with-
something about that experience.
Even with gaming, like that's one of the big things that you lose from digital gaming is that I can't be like, hey, I beat this, try it. Like you don't have that.
Right.
Like again, it's
No, now you have, hey, this game's cool. Go buy it on Steam.
right, yeah, but it's convenient,
Yep.
and it's just one of those things. Like I play so many games, so many more games now that it's just like a quick install. There's no disc swapping.
Yeah, no, I love the digital aspect of games.
Yeah, actually, and
like-
the inability to trade games in, because I only, with the exception of buying things for my Switch, because I have not yet invested in the larger SD card. But when it comes to buying digitally, I've finished so many more games because I can't trade them in. So
Lie.
they sit in my
Right.
library.
That's a lie.
No, it's true.
No, it's a lie.
I have still.
All you do is buy more games.
I have finished more than I
can
used
go
to.
into your Steam library right now and see the hours you put in.
The
on your
average
games.
hours played,
is
yeah.
fucking 0.
No, but like, okay, so Sunset Overdrive, for example, was a free digital copy with
Yep.
my Xbox One purchase. I played it for a week. Something else came out. I never would have finished it. And then I ran into a point where I didn't have anything else to play. I installed it. I played it, and I beat it within a week. I just did that with Tomb Raider. Not Rise of the Tomb Raider, but the one that came out before it. If that was a physical game I owned, that would have been traded in a long time ago. But within the past month or so, month and a half, I reinstalled it, played through it in a couple days, and beat the whole thing. And that's something that having it digitally allowed me to do, because again, physically, it would have been long gone, and I wouldn't have rebought it.
Yeah. No, I mean that's something I like. Like I utilize the pin thing on my Xbox all the time. It's like, all right, here are all the games I haven't played.
Right.
Yeah, I'll figure out when I get to them. And I think it was like back like last December. Witcher 3 was on sale during like Thanksgiving or something, like for Black Friday. So I was like, oh, I'll download this for $20. Like I've heard good things about it.
Right.
Didn't play it until like I watched another streamer actually playing. I was like, all right, that looks pretty cool. I want to start playing that now.
Witcher 3 has caught my eye so many times, especially, with a good setup. It's incredible. And then, with NVIDIA and their Ansel technology where you can take the 360-degree screenshots.
Yeah.
But the thing about that is every time it's been on sale, there's been something else that I was playing and I didn't care enough to buy it. I played the first one. It was clunky back in the day. I never played 2, so it's not like I have like investment in the story.
I started playing 2 and preemptively wanting to get into 3.
Right.
And then I like got 2 hours in. I was like, and died like 7 times. I'm like, this is dumb. I don't like this because I didn't know how to play the damn game.
Yeah.
So I put down Witcher 2. It's been sitting on a shelf for like, I don't know, 5 years now. But then when I watched Witcher 3, I was like, oh, so that's how you play this game.
Right.
Okay, I can figure that out.
Yeah, there's an element
I got
to it.
super into it.
There's a length, and it's a deep game. There's a lot to it, and that's the thing. If you want to get your money out of it, you have to have the time to commit to it. It's your Elder Scrolls. It's just there's something around every corner, and if you want to get, you could get your money's worth out of that game easily, especially on a Steam sale. I actually almost pulled the trigger a couple months ago, or maybe last month. It was on sale. It was the Game of the Year edition. It was $29.99. The problem was, is the $29.99 price was GOG. It wasn't Steam, and I'm like, I'll wait for a Steam sale, and it hasn't. I'm sure it'll be nice and cheap on the summer sale.
Oh, I'm sure.
So
yeah, I paid, I don't know, $20 for it for the Game of the Year edition.
Right.
Put 150 hours into it. Well worth my money.
Jordan C3 says Witcher 3 bought during the same sale, still haven't played it.
See, that's a man after your own habits right there.
Yeah, it's such a time sink. Like, I appreciate the games that do that, where it's like, all right, there's so much content here that you'll be stuck for hours. But at the same time, that's super daunting because it's like, oh, I need to put aside that time.
Right. Well, it's kind of like
actually dedicate it.
It's kind of like what we talked about in the pre-show a little bit, like with WoW. Like, I'm very much in the mindset with my gaming now, where I want to be able to. I want a game that is captivating enough to where if I want to sit down for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, it will pull me in. And again, being Blizzard fanboys, your Overwatches, your Heroes of the Storms, your Hearthstone, your Diablos, like they will do that. But I want the option to get up. And actually, I was just talking about this yesterday, and I'm sure we've all seen it. The Gandalf meme, the whole like when you log into a saved game file that you haven't been in, it's like like where am I?
Where am I?
Yeah.
What is
like,
this place?
None of this is familiar. And that's the thing. Like your Witchers and your Skyrims, and even like Breath of the Wild with Zelda, which is basically like Zelda Scrolls, like and that's exactly what it is. It's like you log in and the world is so huge. Yeah, what is this place? Thank you. That's what it was. Like you log in and you're like, I don't know where the hell to go, and then you just end up getting overwhelmed and you go play something else.
Yeah, there was another Gandalf meme that I remember when Mass Effect was about to come out of. It's a picture of Gandalf holding an AK-47. It's like when you go to Mass Effect after playing Dragon Age for too long. And then the reverse one is an astronaut in freaking, I don't know, like The Hobbit or something, like photoshopped it. It's like when you've been playing Mass Effect and you go back to Dragon Age.
Yeah, those are great games. I'm making my way through Andromeda. Again, I haven't touched it in a few weeks. I've liked what I've played so far. I don't get the facial animation thing. I don't know.
It bothered. Now that they've patched it, it's not too bad at all.
Oh, did they fix it? See, I haven't played it since the patch.
Were there issues?
Oh yeah, they patched it a while ago.
They look doofy.
Really?
But only the humans. All the aliens were spot on. It was the humans. They looked doofy.
It was the humans and Asari, and they patched those to make them a little. They toned down all the makeup for whatever reason. They had way too much on there, which made it look better.
Right.
So
and then the animations as a whole are better.
is it a case of a game being pushed out too early? It's just not.
No, because everything.
I don't know.
I think it was just a bad design.
Yeah.
I don't know what. Apparently, they outsourced the animations, which seems like that was a bad fucking idea on their part.
Right.
And then from what I hear, they wanted to go back and through every single like scene of dialogue and make sure everything like quality control it, but obviously they probably ran out of time and that was way too ambitious.
Right. Well, I think part of it, and this is purely a theory on my part, it could be completely wrong, but they tried their best to make the game pretty, but still keep the visual aesthetic that Mass Effect had. Because Mass Effect, I mean, 3 ended up looking really good, especially if you played it on PC on a high-end machine for the time. But the original Mass Effect, which was an Xbox exclusive, and then it got ported to PC, it was Xbox 360 exclusive. It was the PC port was never revamped. It was just a 1-for-1 port. So it was always held to the limitations of the 360. And I think they tried their best to keep it looking the same, because if they made it too smooth and too good looking, it would have felt out of place from the series.
Yeah.
But
I mean, and they made it feel a lot like Inquisition too. And I think that has to do with a lot of, they switched to the Frostbite 3 engine, which Inquisition was built on.
Right.
So it had a lot of those similarities where, all right, this plays very similar to that. I know what I'm doing here.
Right. Man, that's
Which personally, I loved Inquisition. So I'm like, all right, I'm cool with Andromeda. I'm cool with this.
Right. Yeah, I say another game talking about getting lost in.
Yeah.
Dragon Age 3, that's another one where one of these days I would love to take the time
Yeah, me too.
to go back and play
Since
it. I have all
that-
3, and
Yeah, me too.
even without owning all 3 are available on EA Access. So or Origin Access if you have it on PC.
Right.
But
Yeah, Origins. I think Origins is still my favorite, just because I've put so much time into that.
right.
It's very clunky for what it is, because it was built in like 2009 or something.
Right.
But I mean, the story of that game is phenomenal. 2 is pretty much like their Andromeda. Like, it was very like, oh, people like the characters, but the story wasn't great.
Wasn't the big
That's
thing
kinda
with
what-
2 was you were like the scenery was small, or like the setting was small, like wasn't the majority of it in one town or city?
That's what I heard, was that you kept
Yeah,
going
it
around and
was-
around.
Yeah.
The missions would
Yeah, it was
change, but you
very-
go to the same place over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, they reused a lot of environments.
Yeah.
Which it seems like they're right with Inquisition. They're right. All right, we're gonna take the combat of 2, but all the story around and environments from 1, and
Right.
combine those together. And I thought it worked out really well.
Yeah. Well, and that seems to be what Andromeda has done. They took the linear smoothness of 3, because I don't care what anyone says about 3. I mean, the ending, there's like a poetic theory to the ending of 3 that I really like. Really quickly, it's because everyone was like, oh yeah, you make all these choices and it's supposed to vastly change the ending of 3, right? But really what
Right.
changed was the color of the ending
Yep.
of 3. But that was done intentionally, and the message was, no matter what you do in life, we're all fucked. Like, it's all going to be the same no matter what you do.
Huh.
Like, I like that.
I haven't thought about it that way before, but that,
Like-
that makes it a little all right.
Like, in a universe this massive, your minor actions have no effect at all.
Right, and I mean, in the grand scheme of the game itself, like, how the hell are you going to be able to make all those massive decisions, like, and make a cohesive ending?
Right.
Like, how is that going to happen? That's just, they were way too ambitious with that as well.
And
Which I think is BioWare's problem.
If it affects it too much, it could be wrong for the complete opposite reason. Like okay, like,
Yeah.
you know, me personally, especially a game like Mass Effect, where, again, another one, you can dump hundreds of hours into it. I don't want that game to have multiple endings. I don't want to have to play through it more than once. You know,
I mean, you can. I like it because you can play through it multiple times and get different experiences, but you know what the ending will be.
essentially. So
You know where you're going.
I'm excited to see where Andromeda goes. I like the chemistry between the brother and sister, and where she's just kind of out. I like the reactionary conversation between them. It's going to be a lot of fun. And again, I mean, even just to see what else Andromeda has to offer, and then to go further to the next game.
Yeah, I mean, you haven't beaten it yet, have you?
I'm like maybe 16, 17 hours in.
There's something they allude to at the end that I'm looking forward to if they do end up doing it.
Right.
Which because from what I hear, they wanted to make this its own game. They didn't want to make it a new trilogy at all. So I don't know what they'll do after this.
Really?
Maybe, yeah, that's what I
Bad
hear.
idea. New trilogy.
We'll see what they do.
Yeah, new trilogy. That would be like saying, okay, Star Wars Episode 10, we're done. Like that's it. No trilogy.
We're ending on 10. Fuck
Yeah,
it.
I mean it's a nice
Yeah.
happy number to end on,
I suppose.
but
It would be.
You never
Star
have-
Wars X.
No, you can never have enough Star Wars. More
yeah,
Star Wars.
we had Jason X. That was a
I
Star
like
Wars
Jason
X.
X.
Jason X was great.
in space. Did we see
Cyborg,
that
Cyborg
together?
Jason, maybe. I don't know. He might be too young.
Yeah,
you see
I
Jason
I
X?
have no idea what you're talking
So,
about.
At this
Friday
point-
the
At this
13th,
point, you
right?
probably were like
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
when that came out.
Well,
Maybe.
Friday the 13th, just like you had your Leprechaun in space, Friday the 13th had Jason X, which was Friday the 13th 10, and it was Jason in space, and like he looked like a mechanical Mighty Duck.
Yeah, he was infused with nanobots or something.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was nanobot technology. Some girl gets her head
right.
put in like a pool of cryogenic liquid and then like shattered onto a
Yeah.
science table thing.
Nice.
Right around that same time, they had Freddy vs. Jason come out. Too.
Freddy vs. Jason was shortly after that.
We saw that with Fox. I'm pretty
Yes.
sure.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and that was I enjoyed
I
that.
think I fell asleep.
I enjoyed that because it was better than you would expect from that movie.
Right. Right. That's true.
Our age.
How do you guys feel about the new Alien movie?
It looks way better than Prometheus. So
And that seems to be the general consensus.
yeah, you actually have aliens coming back. We'll see. We'll see. I'm into it so far.
I never
Yeah.
got the hate for Prometheus. I always
know,
liked
but
it.
You're just a detractor for everybody's common opinion.
No,
How do you-
I
How do
never,
you not? How do you? What do you? But where do I even start? What? Okay. What did you like about it?
well, I don't remember it.
Ah,
It
you don't
wa-
fucking
No,
like it. You just want to
Run away from the ship.
No.
Quit running in a damn straight line.
So the
That's a good point.
the thing that really the thing that sticks with me that I remember the most from that movie is Fassbender as the android.
Bishop.
And I thought he
was back.
The precursor.
back again.
The Wayland. Yeah, he is back.
And I thought he was cool.
Yeah, he was cool.
I don't remember
And he'll
much
be
else
back
about
again.
it.
I mean, that really was the only thing you need to remember because everything else sucked.
So
The whole origin story for the space jockey, like, fucking, they fucked that all up.
now
man.
didn't they come out because they didn't brand it as like an Alien prequel, right?
no,
But
but that's
is
what it
it-
ended up
It
becoming.
Like, is it
that's-
confirmed
That's
that-
what it is now.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
at the end of that movie, you have the alien. It just looks like this weird, cute thing. You never, in the beginning, they show these like this albino alien race that is the space jockey. Like, you don't really get much from that though.
Right.
It could have been cool visually. It was cool. I don't know. I just give me Bill Paxton. Game over, man. I want some more Colonial
Game
Marines.
over.
Fucking game
Yeah.
over, man.
Iconic.
Everything Bill Paxton was in is iconic.
Yeah.
I mean, literally,
Yeah.
he's the only guy to be killed by a Terminator, a Predator, and an alien.
It's an impressive resume right there.
I know it. I love Bill Paxton, man.
All right. Favorite Bill Paxton movie that's not Alien or Predator or Terminator. I wouldn't call Terminator a Bill
Tombstone.
Paxton. Tombstone. What about you?
He was in Independence Day, wasn't he?
No,
That was Bill Pullman.
Yep.
Wrong Bill. Shit.
He's the one that's still alive.
I don't know if I've seen any movies outside of Alien, Terminator, Predator with Bill
Twister?
Paxton in it, to be honest.
For me, hands down, Twister.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, I forgot about
just-
Twister.
look at
Just
the
for
cast.
the scene where he's dropping the sand into the wind, we gotta go.
Yeah, but I mean, just look at the cast that movie had. You had Paxton, you had Hoffman, you had Hunt. Like it was you had Els. Like it was a great cast
Yeah.
for such a. It was a storm chaser movie.
Yeah.
But the tornado just was always after them. It always
Right?
knew.
Yeah. Have you seen Helen Hunt?
Sentient tornado.
No,
She's an old woman now. It's
I'm
weird.
sure she is.
It's
That
weird.
movie is old.
I know, but it's weird.
I remember walking across the tracks and walking over to Flagship Cinemas to see that movie.
Oh, flagship.
Yeah, I walked to Falmouth to see that movie.
Wow. That's quite a walk.
Yeah. All right. Well, we will get ready to kind of turn the ship back and get ready to start wrapping up here. But I wanted to mention and give you a chance to kind of mention. You had said the thing you wanted to promote as far as you're getting really close to hitting your milestone of a year of podcasting. I remember
We
being
actually-
there. Yeah,
Yeah, we
have
actually
you hit it
passed
now?
that back in March.
Okay, because this was January that this was sent in, so you have passed it.
Yep.
Very cool. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
I remember being there. It's a good time. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's interesting to reflect of like, oh yeah, we started with a crummy setup, and now we're like, yeah, we kind of have an idea of what we're doing now.
Yeah, it's nice to see it grow. It's nice to have the pictures. It's nice to go back and listen to those first couple episodes. Be like,
Yeah,
you know, we don't
it's just
sound
like,
so
ew.
we don't
Oh,
sound so
God,
bad
I wish I could
anymore.
redo this.
Right. So you had mentioned here again. This was January. That you would like to expand going into the second year. Have any of those ideas started to brew? Anything come into fruition in expanding for the second year?
A little bit. I've started trying to post. I mean, I've tried to post wherever we can just to get more reach.
Right.
I started putting everything on YouTube, to kind of prep like whenever we eventually can get a video set up going. Like that's my big goal for this year is to try and get a video version of the podcast going.
Yeah.
Obviously we're going to be moving into a new area so we can actually get a nice, more controlled sound area.
Right.
Because that's one of our biggest issues is since we're in an open living room, there's a lot of bouncing. So when I'm listening to it, I'm like, well, if you turn this up quite enough, you can hear all the echoing a lot.
Yeah.
As an audio nerd, that bugs me a lot.
Yep. That's understandable.
We want to do more live shows too, like, and maybe even eventually start a live stream of it if we can get enough listenership.
Live is fun. Our schedule's changed a couple of times. We had actually talked, and I've told this story a couple of times. I told the story while he was on. We had talked a couple times, or at least one main time, about saying, let's just scrap the live stream. Like, let's record. It
is easier.
It's one less thing to worry about. I can easily record two separate channels because I don't have to worry about mixing it while recording and having it all go out to one source. So like I can record I can adjust volume levels after the fact. Everything would be easier. Do you know what I mean? Like if I really want to do two, like as opposed to having all one power station, like we could just both mic into our laptops and record separate audio files and then mix them together and have purely separate tracks. Like there are so many other perks there. And we had talked about it and we had one of our friends and listen, or was somebody who was a listener that became a friend, who was like, no, don't get ready your live show. Like that's one of the things you guys do. You do it well, small chat room, but you interact with them. We've been inconsistent, unfortunately, for the last couple months. But when we are consistent and people know we're going to be there, we have our regulars in the chat. And I don't care if it's 1 or 50 or 500. Like when you have people that, if anything, it's even more meaningful when it's the few, because when it's the few, they're there for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
When it's the massive, they might just be there because other people are there and it's the cool thing to do. But
right.
When you have your handful that show up and listen to you run your mouth for how many ever hours a week when you do several shows, it's really meaningful and it's cool. So it's just one of those things where it's a little tougher. You can kind of make up for that a little bit by spending a little bit extra money on equipment. One of the major upgrades we did, we went from our mics to we got the Heil PR40s. Literally, we didn't change a thing but the mics, and there's a massive difference. Like I literally cut the front and end of the show and upload it. There's no editing.
We started with the mics that you have behind you, and then we upgraded. Then we upgraded again.
ATR 2100s.
Yep.
Look, we got hit by Lava Zeus. You've been banged by the spooky booty banger.
Whoa.
HIV AIDS feels bad, man. Post this 6 times without getting banned by Nazi mods or get diagnosed as HIV positive.
Wow.
Well then.
I want to know what Nazi mods are.
Please no copy Pastorino.
Like the Nazi, is that what he's saying?
The HIV Nazi.
Look, he's laughing because we're mentioning him. He must feel special now. We're embracing the trolls.
Yes, embrace the trolls.
So, I mean, that's how you fight them, right? Just don't give them what they want.
Kill them with AIDS, apparently.
Yeah, Annalise, thank you. Annalise says, give him $1. I think that's my job now. I like it.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we've started to notice that. Like, we've actually, in the past couple of weeks, we actually started noticing people actually commenting on our posts and, like, with their own thoughts of things we talked about.
Yeah.
So,
it's cool, man.
It's freaking happening now.
It's one of the hardest
people are
things,
talking to us.
It's one of the hardest things to get moving, but once you get the ball rolling, It again, our problem is the inconsistency. We'll get some people starting to talk, and then we disappear for 2 months. But you get the ball rolling and you stay consistent with it, and it's great. It builds on itself at that point, but it's getting that initial, getting the initial spark.
Yeah.
And
Look at us like the elder statesmen. Stick with it, son. And then you'll get people like Lava Zeus saying,
You can do it too.
In the Asarino.
no Dickerino in the Asarino. I want that on a t-shirt.
That's not what I thought you were going to say.
Please no Caparino my story.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it's a lot of fun, man. And as I'm sure you've noticed, and I've had a lot of fun having you on. Anything you wanna kind of pitch your links and your where people can find you and where they can catch your show?
Yeah, definitely. So we do a weekly show every Tuesday. The show's out on iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn. We have our own site, z2podcast.com, where every single episode's up there, and you can download them if you want, or just listen to them in the site. And you can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter. That's where we respond the most. If you have any feedback for us, or just want to even just talk to us, or if you even want to be on our show, you have something you want to promote, just hit us up and we can work something out.
Sounds good. Might have to do that. Maybe we'll hop over to your neck of the woods for a little while.
We'll hop in your Asarino.
Thank you, Lava
Oh,
Zeus.
boy.
Yeah, I mean, no hate, man. It's all good. See, look, we've deflamed the flamer.
Yeah,
He's just an Earth.
he's become you now.
Yeah, now we might have earned a new fan.
We commandeered his
There you go.
bullshit. That's what happened.
And see, now if he clicks follow, that's a win for us.
Well, you shouldn't have said it out loud. Now he's not gonna
Well,
just spite us.
No, well, whatever.
A lot of our
That's fine.
Asarinos.
As for this show, you can catch us live every Friday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time at twitch.tv/InkGeek Our guest next week from Blazing Caribou Studios is Mr. Sean Burns. Look, he clicked follow.
Nice.
Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. But yeah, so again, next week, Sean Burns from Blazing Caribou. I don't even know what shows he's a part of there anymore. I don't think he does Trivia Geeks anymore. I don't know. But yeah, Sean's cool. He's been on before. If you're a long-time listener of the show, he was on, I think, in season 1. I'd have to go back and double-check because we weren't seasonal then, so I don't remember where it fell. But yeah, and then we've got a cool lineup coming. Michael Johnson, a.k.a. Dice Tomato, who does all of our cool artwork, or most of our cool artwork, is going to be on the following week. And then we're spanning out into it's the last week before Nerdtacular. Season 3 will end with episode 16. We've got Matt Stein joining us again here pretty soon. So May into June. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, and then you should definitely, if you had a good time, definitely extend the invite to your other 2 hosts. Maybe they'll come on and hang out with us.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. I'll let them know. Steve was actually in the chat there for a bit. I don't know if he's still there.
Oh, okay. So is that Steve O? Is that the that's the
that's the other
that's the non-Zach
host. Yep.
Cool. All right. Well, yeah. So if anyone listening or your other 2 hosts, if you guys want to come on the show, go to tiny.cc/MOAG guest. There's a quick little guest form there. Fill it out. It gets emailed to us. I'm taking those and storing them away in a folder, and we will start booking for season 4 probably around the end of May, early June. So get your submission in. They will be first come, first serve at the date I receive the email. I think that is it because I don't have show notes in front of me. And I'm not going to ramble and repeat myself like I usually do.
No, you did nice.
Cool.
Nice.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I didn't do an outro last week. I just hit the fucking soundboard.
I know, I remember.
A big thank you to our Twitch chat. Yeah, see, I didn't do a Patreon pitch. Thank you, Annalise. Yeah, if you want to support the show
Got you.
and the studio, go to patreon.com/IG Studios. As little as $1 a month helps the show and the studio grow and continue to grow. And yeah, but no.
You ever seen Merlin?
Merlin? No.
The TV movie Merlin?
No. What?
And I said, grow.
Grow.
Oh.
We should get that as a soundbite.
That motherfucker wasn't even born when that was out, man.
Probably not.
No. I was thinking of like the BBC Merlin show that they did a while ago.
No, I don't know. But yeah, so a big thank you to our current patron supporters. Those guys are troopers, man. Most of our patrons, I mean, you have some come and go, but we have some that have been holding on since June of 2014. And even when we have our lull moments, they don't let go. And those guys are great. We really appreciate it.
They stay there.
They stay gripped.
During the refractory periods.
Yeah.
They stick
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool, man. There's nothing like not.
They're
putting
always
out,
ready to go.
Yeah, there's nothing like not putting out content for like 2 or 3 months and then having people still. They know you're coming back. They like what you do and they want to continue to support you. It's a really cool feeling. But again, a big thank you to the chat room tonight. You guys are awesome. Very active tonight. I appreciate it. Hugo, let's look at that.
I appreciate that he made the duck bat fleck.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, there you go.
That fleck is great.
Yeah, I like the Riddler Shake Zula.
Yep.
That's great. I got the
Good one.
Triforce in there. Good.
I might make some
Doctors
stickers
on
out
a
of
comic.
the milkshake.
I think that's the
Zula.
TARDIS.
Yeah, it's blue milk.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, it's blue milk.
I
Okay.
definitely want I want that sticker of Shake Zula. That's cool.
Yep, it's good.
I like it.
It's well done.
So
I'm just happy that Mr. Poopy Butthole is there.
So he is. He usually puts that up on his Facebook page as well as his Instagram. And then one thing we do with Hugo's drawings when we have a guest on Mind of a Geek is you will also get a free copy of that drawing for a
nice.
keepsake, so you can remember your time here.
I will save that.
That's
Maybe
just
hanging
our
on my
way
wall.
to transcend our ego onto you.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. What he said.
Our collective ego. Here you are.
So for Zach, for Brandon, for myself, and for the rest of IG Studios, thank you all very much for hanging out with us, and we will see you guys next week.
Goodbye.
Maybe. Hold on. Yeah.
Every time.
I had it turned down. I knew I would fuck it up somehow.